beating Minecraft with every negative status effect. A challenge so absurdly difficult that no one would dare do it. But that was until YouTuber That Fat Goose beat it in hardcore mode. And while the challenge was extremely difficult, for obvious reasons, he didn't have the wither status effect. I mean, with the wither status effect, the challenge is impossible. Or is it? Yes, this is actually possible. And it starts with Dylan DC14's tool-assisted speedrun of Minecraft. With the perfect seed, he manages to beat Minecraft in just under 20 seconds. If we do the math, then we can see that both Wither 2 and Poison 2 combined deal 2.66 damage per second. Over the span of 20 seconds, this would do 53.2 damage. Because the player has 20 health, the player would not survive this. However, if we look at the loot tables for Woodland Mansions, then we can find enchanted golden apple. These are extremely important because not only do they provide regeneration, they also provide absorption hearts and resistance. The resistance makes it so the total time of 20 seconds only does around 43 damage, and the absorption hearts bring you up to 36 health. With the regeneration from the enchanted golden apple, you'd be barely scraping by the health limit. But considering the small amount of time it would take to go over and get the enchanted golden apple, and also the damage you take from throwing ender pearls, it still wouldn't quite be enough. But there is a solution. You'll see that Dylan DC14's computer performs a duplication glitch. How else could he have gotten 2 stacks of ender pearls before even entering the nether? So if you were to duplicate that enchanted golden apple, then you would have enough health for the run. This speedrun shows us that something like this is possible, but how difficult would it actually be to do? For starters, let's start with how much time it would take to get all this practice. This is not meant to be humanly possible. It would take actual years to get all the frame-perfect timings and placements. But that is just the beginning. Now you have to find the exact perfect seed for this run, which can't be that hard, right? Let's say it takes you around 1 second to load one seed. It would take you over 37 trillion years to do. That's almost as much time as it would take for your dad to come back with the milk. By the time 37 trillion years have passed, the sun will have died. In fact, almost all stars will have died. The universe will start becoming a desolate, lightless landscape. Let that sink in. For all of those key presses of creating and exiting worlds, we'll have used over 266 trillion Big Macs worth of energy. And all of this is saying that even when you do get the right seed, you perform the run perfectly. The duplication glitch, every frame-perfect placement, all the way down to the right throw of pearls. Any one of these mistakes can instantly scrap the run. And then it's another 37 trillion years. And while there may be other seeds that would work for this, and there are ways to find seeds faster, that still wouldn't make this method short enough for it to be humanly possible, even over the span of multiple generations. And this neglects the fact that this run is actually harder than the tool-assisted speedrun. To negate slowness and levitation, you'd have to use even more pearls, and craft and place multiple boats to get across certain areas. And all of that with silverfish constantly surrounding you as well. There are some parts that are so unpredictable that you wouldn't be able to account for. And every time something like that happens, you have to try again. The trillions upon trillions of years would stack up. You'd have to hide from the police because you wouldn't be able to pay your electricity bill. If you watched that screen for 37 trillion years, you would die. And that is because a human does not live 37 trillion years. Your family would call you a disgrace. You'd spend 25 hours a day on that screen. And all for what? All for a chance to be the first? Does this even have a meaning? Let's say you did live hundreds of trillions of years. Is this what you'd want to spend your life doing? Is this what you'd want your legacy to be? All those years, wasting away at a computer when you could have had countless all you're doing every day is clicking through seeds. What would you gain from this? Is there even anything to gain from this? On a random seed, could a computer even do this? I know it's possible, but the more and more I go on, the less possible it feels. But maybe that's why it's such a challenge. Do you think you could do this? Do you have the commitment, the patience, the skill? You'd have to do nothing but play Minecraft. You couldn't even pay your taxes. Which I doubt any of you do anyways, but still, that's absurd. This challenge is practically impossible. But if you like gambling, then you can always go for those $500.